Not far from our border. Let's go straight to it. I want to show you this video. Let me warn you, it's a bit graphic. If you're sensitive, just pull your laptop or cell phone away. Let's watch this shit. Some heavy fight right there. We can see assault rifles and apparently one single target, but it wasn't just one target. Unfortunately, these happened in the San Vicente community of Ensenada in Baja California on Saturday after an off-road race that takes place every year called La Chicanilla. It's a great time to have in Ensenada. Hundreds of off-roaders go on route around Ensenada. They go near the beach side and stuff, and it's a beautiful off-road race. So after the race, they all gathered outside this OXXO store to have drinks and to make plans for further on, when a group of men on a black Infinity armored with Sinaloa plates showed up and opened fire against a lot of people. 10 dead, 9 injured. Most of the dead were just drivers of the off-road race, of a single racing team from Ensenada. But amongst the dead, we have Jose Eduardo Orozco, a local delegate from the Valle de Guadalupe, and probably most importantly, and apparently the single target of this attack, Alonso Arambula Piña, known as El Trébol, a middle-range member, allegedly, of the Arellano Felix cartel. Now, there was a narco banner left the day after the attack, blaming the Arzate brothers and the rancheros for the attack, saying that they were responsible for the attack, but that they paid the press to say it was otherwise. Let's talk a bit, let me give you some context about who the Arzate brothers are. The Arzate brothers are Alfonso Arzate, known as Aquiles, and René Arzate, known as La Rana, both allegedly working under El Mayo Zambada orders to take care of Baja California, specifically of Tijuana, Ensenada, and Rosarito. Those guys are fighting against an alliance between the Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación and the Arellano Felix cartel. Many of you guys probably think that the Arellano Felix cartel is dismantled, was dismantled. And yes, I mean, it is a yes and a no. The Arellano Felix organization was dismantled with the original family members of the Arellano Felix, which none of them are active on this cartel, and pretty much is run by secondary people that took some part of the organization back in the 90s, but that they are not part of the family. They literally just kept their name. So yeah, allegedly, this narcomanta is saying that these two guys, ordered by El Mayo, did the attack against this alliance and against El Trébol, right? But then again, let's take this with a grain of salt, because some pages in Tijuana and Baja California that I know personally that these pages are getting leaks straight up from people working for the Sinaloa cartel, started blaming El Trébol as the target, saying that he is a member of the CAF, or the Cafetera, the Cartel Arellano Felix organization. But this is unconfirmed, guys, and I will hate to spread cartel propaganda on my YouTube channel, although this is the available information as of now. I called a couple of sources I have down in Tijuana and San Diego that belong to the Arellano Felix organization, and they said that it's also still a bit unclear what is really happening, what really happened out there. But what they do know, like most of my sources do know, and it's clear, is that this is a fight between the Cartel de Sinaloa and the Arellano Felix slash Cartel Jalisco Nueva Generación. What are they fighting about? Still unconfirmed. Like it could be turf, because I mean Tijuana, Ensenada, and Rosarito are the main route for the Sinaloa cartel to keep trafficking drugs. And let me give you also some context about how this shit works. When El Chapo was arrested and left Los Chapitos in place as part of the Sinaloa cartel, Los Chapitos and Los Damaso, Los Chapitos began taking over Culiacan and fighting, quote unquote, like telling El Mayo that he will no longer be able to use Culiacan as a headquarter to stash stuff or what do businesses without paying them 30% of everything he was moving on the city, along with a lot of other families, not only El Mayo, right? Like every other family that were not the Guzmans are going to have to pay 30% of whatever business they do in Culiacan. El Mayo, instead of picking on them and starting a fight, what he did was he took over, or still tries to take over for the most part, of the border, Tijuana particularly. So when Los Chapitos have to cross their merchandise over Tijuana, they need to pay back that same 30% of the merchandise El Mayo is paying down in Culiacan. So I guess that's part of the turf that it's been happening between these criminal organizations.